Bro, let's be serious.
Partey
Do you think?
plays as number 10.
Let's also be controversial.
Do you want to do it on purpose and then say it on the camera?
I won't say it on camera. Do you think Partey is 28? No, I'm not joking.
He's not
joking. Is he 28, bro?
Mohamed. This is a very
2 games
show.
hamstring.
We do not.
Another 2 games hamstring. Then I was asking my son. My son is an Arsenal supporter. Die hard.
Yeah.
So he's asking me.
Do you think he looks older than 28?
Well, I can't say that on.
Look. At the end of the day, I think.
But he's a good player.
I think he's a very good player.
He passes the ball well. He goes forward. That's what I like about him.
For a 38-year-old.
38.
Yo, what's going on? Another week, another episode for Onetwo TV. I'm joined by the regular culprits in Saddam, AC Milan fan. And this week we also have a special guest in a special Chelsea fan with Mohamed Wehliye. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, we're good, we're chilling. But you're a bit gooder than the rest of us with that win versus Everton. Now, you guys seem very, very comfortable in that top 4 race.
I don't think I would say very comfortable. Football is a very strange game. But it is, things are getting better with the new manager. 11 games, I think, unbeaten in all competitions. Conceived only 1 goal by an opposition player. I think the other one was an own goal, so 2 goals. I think 9 clean sheets. So I think it's all Chelsea supporters and everyone following Chelsea, I think, is happy currently, I should say. But I don't think you can say you're comfortable. 2 points above, I think, West Ham.
Yeah, but when you consider the teams that you guys have played, there's Atleti, there's Everton, some tough fixtures. There was Tottenham. So when you consider the teams that you guys have navigated through this rough period,
true,
it makes it a bit more exciting.
Yes.
No?
Yes. When Tuchel came, I think everyone was saying this is the period. This is the period they're going to judge how he's going to perform. Because initially he started with 1 or 2, 3. There's no easy game in Premier League, as you know. But Man United, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool,
Spurs.
Everton, Spurs. So it was a very tough period, and I think only the draw with United. Otherwise, he's won the rest.
From an Arsenal point of view, when we got Arteta, it was around similar times when you guys got Tuchel.
Lampard.
Yeah. No, Tuchel.
Yes, Tuchel, yes.
December period.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And what's concerning me as an Arsenal fan is that you guys he managed to drastically change the way you guys play.
Yeah.
And the discipline that you guys have and how technically they just seem a bit more superior. That's why they just keep the ball more.
Yes.
But that came during a period of December, I think it was around that period, and it's just been, considering when you guys don't have that many days to train, back-to-back games, European games, and now it's concerning. It is actually concerning. But do you feel like you guys will get better with more time? For example, now
definitely.
We talk about maybe June.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look at what happened is Tuchel came in at a time when Chelsea was not doing very well, and the mission he had, or the job he was given, I think, was to first of all make sure that Chelsea is in top 4. So
he said it outright.
Exactly.
In his press conference.
Exactly. So basically, the style of play, how you do things, I think was secondary. So if Chelsea don't make to top 4, then people would question and say, why did you then get rid of Lampard, who was a legend in the club? So Tuchel, I think, a lot more would come from him when he starts a fresh season. He has a pre-season, which I think is also a problem because not all clubs actually had a good pre-season. And I think a lot would come from him because if he only came in and then straight away organized the team the way they organized, they had to beat. And I think his first interview, what he said is, I would make Chelsea a club no one would want to face. So now, if you see the way they play, 3 at the back, he's trying to make use of the entire squad. And if you look at the squad of Chelsea, I think, I was looking at the bench last night.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So there's a lot of talent, and it looks like that's what made Lampard struggle, because Lampard was doing very well when he had the options, the kids, but as soon as he was given a lot, it seems like exactly he became a bit confused system-wise. And now when I watch Chelsea, I'm a bit more comfortable because I know if they score, they'll be able to defend. If they don't score, they will be able to defend also. He can change games. He's a good tactician.
Games are a bit boring though.
Yeah, well,
games are a bit boring.
Yes, you said nobody wants to face, but
also nobody wants to
watch.
I agree. Even Chelsea fans would admit to that. But there's a lot of possession. But you can see it's mechanical. It's everybody knows what they're doing. The only thing that now he needs to do is to get more out of the attacking players. Chelsea has Ziyech. They have Werner, one of the top goal scoring guys in Europe. They have Havertz. They have Odoi.
Specifically, those guys who never performed.
Pulisic doesn't even play.
Yeah, barely gets
he's I think he was our best player in Project Restart.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we would have won the FA Cup final if he didn't get injured.
Yes, true. I think that is something that he's going to work on. But if you can see what he's trying to do, he's basically saying every new manager, even Arteta, when he came, they emphasize a lot on defense, because when people, during Lampard's last games, it was very easy to score against Chelsea. Nobody knew what the defensive setup was. So I think every manager starts with that. Let me start with the defense, then do the midfield, which is done now. If you look at Chelsea's midfield, you have
seems a lot more settled. Even Kante is coming back to form.
Even Jorginho, whom I don't like. I don't rate.
I take him over Xhaka, but so.
Yeah, but I think Jorginho, I used to see him as someone who slows the game. For Premier League, he's a bit weak. He doesn't have the body shape.
Or
he's
easy to,
but he's very intelligent. But all I was saying is basically he's not well suited for Premier League. He can play in Liga. He can play in other places.
Tuchel's system is perfect for him because it's not that quick. You have the ball a lot.
Yeah.
You move the ball faster, but you don't really do.
But he plays with 2 number 6s. Now
that helps. I think
that helps. Now the problem is Kovac has been. I think Chelsea's best player.
He has been amazing.
He takes the ball forward. He's a former Real Madrid player. You can see the class he has. He never used to do 60, 70 minutes. He would get tired, but now he's fitter. Now Kante is back. He's fully fit. I don't see where Jorginho would fit, but Tuchel somehow is trying to make use of all of them, and it's going to be a very big challenge for him because it's not easy to try and make sure that all these guys are happy because it's a big squad.
Well, what are some of the things you picked out that you liked from yesterday's game, Everton?
Yesterday's game, I think Everton, Chelsea were also lucky because
the first
Abdoulaye Decore was not playing.
Decore.
Decore makes a massive difference for those guys. James was not also playing. Then you had Coleman.
Seamus Coleman,
who was not also. So I think they were lacking that, but Everton. What I liked about Chelsea is the organization. I think Kai Havertz played a very good game. Well. And I think this is one thing I liked about Thomas Tuchel because he saw this guy was struggling. He kept him off, all the bad press and everything. He was injured, but I think part of that injury was a plan to keep him away from all the criticism, the pressure. So he was working on him and his style and everything. And the first game he started, I think he was massive last night. I think we still had Timo problems because Timo could have scored 2 or 3 goals.
He needs that break.
Exactly.
He needs that 2 3
Timo probably needs that. But Timo works very hard. You see, a lot of people are concerned about his scoring, but he takes defenders off. He runs a lot.
He gives defenders things to think about.
Exactly.
What I worry about with Timo, to be honest, is that when he does get on the ball, and if he eventually gets the ball maybe somewhere deeper in midfield because he had to come deep.
Yes.
I feel like he slows the game down sometimes. Sometimes I feel like if he there's an opportunity to pass the ball into space.
I think you guys are young, very young. So let me take you back to Arsenal. Maybe you know the history, but I'm older than you guys, and I watched some of those games.
I like when guys start doing this.
Now let me tell you. Do you know the history of one of the best players of Arsenal? I've always respected, Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah, he's the best number 10 the Premier League has ever seen.
2-3.
Better than Ozil.
You know, he was about to give up on Arsenal. You know, the fans were on him. He wasn't scoring goals. Everyone was like, why did we buy this guy? Same with Thierry Henry. Yeah. He came from Juve.
First 8 games, I think.
Exactly. Everybody was, what's happening? So I think Timo is a very good player.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about players of class. I mean, your comparison is unfair to Timo. Well, Dennis Bergkamp is easily the best number 10 the Premier League has ever seen.
That's after he's gone through the process. Yeah, okay. So Dennis Bergkamp didn't come to Arsenal as a finished product, a full star. So that people were questioning him. The same with Thierry Henry. Even Arsene Wenger, when he came to Arsenal, you know, the press was asking.
Even Ferguson almost got sacked.
Yeah, Arsene who? So I think Timo, you can see he's a very good player. He has the pace. But Premier League, you know, new place, new language. But now you can see with Thomas Tuchel, even though he's not scoring goals, he's assisted goals. He keeps defenders, you know, winning penalties, keeping the defenders busy. With him in the team, there is a chance that others will likely score, that he opens up. But when we play Giroud or when we play Abraham, yes, there's a full number 9 who could score you goals. But I think the whole dynamic of the team changes.
But I don't know if you guys feel a bit differently. When you guys signed Timo Werner, initially I thought to myself, 60 million for a striker like him these days, that's a fair price.
Because considering you paid 70 for Pepe.
60 billion, which currency are you using?
60 million euros, I think.
Yeah,
something around there. I mean, it was between 50 and 60, right? We paid 45 for Lacazette, for example?
Yeah.
And he's not the most clinical striker.
Yeah.
But I'd never thought that Timo Werner was the clinical striker that people made him out to be. I don't think he ever had that ruthlessness that some of these strikers have.
He was scoring goals for fun.
I mean, in Germany, a lot of people score goals.
Yeah, but you see, Haaland is doing that. He's the hottest property. Are you saying that he's not a good striker? I think
Haaland is a better striker than Timo Werner, in my opinion. Better than Timo Werner has ever been.
What if he comes to the Premier League and he struggles? Are you going to change your mind?
Take it like a duck to water, in my opinion.
Everybody was saying that about Timo.
Nah.
He was the leading goal scorer in that season and the previous season, I think, in the whole of Europe.
Yeah, I feel like Chelsea fans are scared to have another Salah moment or a De Bruyne.
Or even Andriy Shevchenko, Fernando Torres.
They let go of De Bruyne and Salah a bit too early. And they went on. Now they are almost Premier League.
But you see, you can't predict that.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't predict that because even if they stayed and Chelsea kept them because of the way they play, maybe they needed that change. Maybe they needed to prove themselves. Football is not about why didn't you see this guy was good? I mean, Gnabry.
Yeah. People always go back to that Gnabry, rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, Pogba left United.
They bought him back for 80 million.
Exactly. Zaha left United.
Yeah.
So football is strange. Sometimes at that particular moment you're not good. You go, you're released. That then motivates you. Then that Salah was. I mean, he left Chelsea. He went to
Roma.
No, before
Fiorentina.
Roma,
Before that,
Fiorentina, and then he went to Roma. So then he went to Liverpool. You can see he really.
He grinded his way. Like
exactly.
He never lost.
So at Liverpool he was doing very well, but in those two other clubs, he was just. I mean, they bought him for
and that's
what,
what I like about Chelsea. By the way,
32 million?
they will break the bank.
Yes.
They'll buy a player. It doesn't work out. Sent on loan.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the examples. Bakayoko as well.
Yeah.
You come out of the academy, sent on loan.
Yeah. Like you'll be sent on loan.
Everybody's sent on loan.
And then if it works out, you come back. If it doesn't work at Chelsea, they sell you.
Yeah.
And they move on. Like Chelsea are quick to move on players regardless.
Yeah. Right.
Like I wouldn't.
Just like they do for managers.
Right now, yeah. The story right now that
That's a fair point.
that
Toxic.
Yes.
would live in the summer.
I think Ziyech he came, he did very well, then he got injured. I think Ziyech is a very good player. I would want to see how the new manager would bring the best out of him.
In this system, where do you see him playing in this system? Because I'm kind of lost.
Ziyech is a guy who needs a good striker who can get at the end of his crosses. He's got amazing left.
I agree. I think if he's going to do anything for you guys, he's going to be a creative force in your midfield. Link up. I mean, more than even Kai Havertz.
Yes.
If you think about that, Kai Havertz is more a second striker, an inside forward.
It's true.
Than
like last night, he played false 9. But you see, with Ziyech is, I think Ziyech will be one of those players. He looks body language, that kind of a player who doesn't want to go to Ronaldo, Messi level. But also, more like this guy of Manchester City, the Algerian guy, Mahrez. Mahrez is a very good player, superstar.
Yeah.
But even at City,
you feel like he's satisfied.
He's like a bench guy. Whenever someone is, he takes rotation. I think Ziyech, when he plays, his body language is like he's not the guy who says, "I'm going to work very hard." He looks, even the few games he was started by Chelsea, he looks a bit disinterested.
But that's in stark comparison to his time at Ajax, because Ajax were a high pressing team. Yes. They worked very, very hard off the ball. Yeah. And then I think maybe the comparison to Mahrez is a little there's a lack of similarity in some way.
It's true.
Because Mahrez is a winger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He takes you to the byline, chops you inside and out, and then moves on.
But in my view,
likes passing. He's more of a passer.
But in my view, I think Chelsea's best player, maybe I'm biased, is Pulisic.
100%. I think I agree.
Pulisic, problem
why?
with him. Technically, he is very good. He is a quick player. He scores goals. The only problem with him is that he probably give you about 4 or 5 games injured. 4 or 5 plays, hamstring. And he's had that history. Yeah. So Tuchel knows, and he said yesterday, given that he knows him from his Dortmund days, he's good at coming in and changing games. But I don't think a player would accept that, because
especially someone of his talent.
Yes. So he wants to use him for, he said, 30 minutes, 40 minutes to change games, and that's. But no, I don't think that would be acceptable.
But you expect a top 4 finish.
The way things are going now, yes, because it looks like Liverpool are going to.
Liverpool are 8th.
Yeah, Liverpool are now. I was scared about Liverpool because it's going to be.
You were afraid of them coming back.
No, I was afraid of them for challenging for that top 4. Yeah. City is definite. I would expect United to be around there. Leicester, with their injuries around this time, they always drop.
They always collapse.
So, but I expect Chelsea I expect Chelsea to finish second.
Second?
Yes.
That's even more ambitious than I expected.
No, I expect them to finish second.
Their form, the amount of teams they've beaten, the clean sheets,
and the squad they have.
I think they have
Chelsea. When I looked at the bench last night, I was like, wow, this bench is better.
I mean, you're only 4 points behind United.
Yes.
So it's well and truly on, and. I mean, maybe the goal difference is goal difference is slightly lower, and I think it's going to come down to goal difference this season. Yeah. Number of those positions are very interchangeable.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. We can move on to Liverpool and Fulham. Apparently, the only 2 teams to not have won at Anfield this season in 2021 rather this year. Yeah. Are Liverpool and Manchester United.
True.
Everybody else has come away with points, and you guys did so yourself in a very convincing manner.
Yeah.
What is happening at Liverpool, Saddam? Are you enjoying it as well?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You see, with Liverpool right now, we see their problems and its injuries. And there was a stat I read somewhere that with Fabinho and Henderson playing in midfield, they've lost 3 games in the last 2 years.
Wow.
That tells you that
the impact those guys
Liverpool's
have.
system is specifically like there's only few players who can function in that specific
It's as
system.
one-dimensional as they come.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think there's a lot of I see a lot of people talking about Van Dijk. I think a lot of people talking about their injuries and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I do agree that there is part to it, and part of their problems is because of injuries. Any team would miss those kind of players, but so many other teams have injury problems.
That's a very good point. So I was actually
it's not only about injuries.
Yeah,
I mean if you look at
Leicester.
Everton, if you look at Leicester. Look at at some stage even Arsenal, Manchester City.
Mohamed, there was a very interesting graphic of Sky Sports. I think you see the amount of minutes lost due to injuries.
Yes.
And Liverpool's wasn't too dissimilar to Leicester's.
No.
But yet Leicester City seemed like they can plug in someone.
Yeah.
And still perform, still win a game or get some points off.
And that's because of how flexible Rodgers is as opposed to Klopp. Klopp is just one-dimensional. He wants Robertson and Trent to create. If they don't, which nowadays the Trent is forced to do more defensive work. Robertson, like Kimejuzi, Robertson he had to stay with the kids. It was like 3 kids at the back.
Yeah.
So there was nothing. There was two. Now they're playing with 2 less creative players.
Yes.
And those 2 players were like last season top assists. Robertson.
But Liverpool, I mean, look, they won.
Robertson and Trent,
they won by a mile last season, and they really battered everyone. But I was always going to say
you mean Corona title?
Whatever it is. And also the seasons before they were coming, they started with a project. It was not something that they just came. I mean, once Klopp came in, he was always progressing. He won the Champions League. He's a very good manager. But always, I was telling people that Liverpool, irrespective of their injuries, they're going to suffer this year. The type of football they play, it puts a lot of demand on the players, especially the fullbacks. So it was techno. What was he calling it?
High octane.
High octane. No, he was using some
heavy metal.
Heavy metal. Football. So they were really worn out. They're knackered. If you look at their players,
never rotated players.
So if you look at the 2 fullbacks, they're not themselves this season. I mean, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. So and also people must, once you're a champion and once you do that, people now master how to play you.
Yeah.
So
and if you don't change up.
Yeah. If you look at the injuries, at one stage I think Guardiola had almost 6-7 of his top players out, especially defensive.
Laporte,
managed to finish second.
And finished second, and I think Liverpool's problems are beyond just the injuries that all of us.
There's some blame to be leveled at Klopp,
100%,
and the one-dimensional formation or system that he has,
and his lack of rotation for the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's not good enough. I mean, think about how many players that just don't push for first team. They're well and truly substitutes.
Yeah, like out and right. Even when they buy players,
never changes.
They bought Tsimikas to be a sub for Robertson, like outright. Nothing to do with challenging him.
Yeah.
Outright. And then I also feel like FSG, the owners of Liverpool as well, kind of failed Klopp. Remember when they won the Champions League, I believe they needed to add maybe 2-3 more players.
No, but they did. I mean, Tsimikas could.
That's the problem.
Thiago.
No, Thiago came in last season. I'm talking about when they won the Champions League.
Okay,
but you see, they had good players, and also Liverpool are not the type of teams that buy players just for the sake of it. You would always buy someone who would improve. Always, when you have that kind of quality that wins you the Champions League and Premier League, if now you have to join that team, Liverpool are just not going to go for, and also nobody anticipated all these injuries at the same time in the same positions.
In my opinion, I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Like I knew, because for the last 3 years they've had the same front three.
Yes.
They've had the same back four.
Yes.
They've had almost the only places they used to change was the midfield. Like Keita one game. Like
when he's available.
Yes, when he's available.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about it. I used to tweet about it a lot. Like I was so surprised how Liverpool never got injuries last season.
Yes.
Because of the run they had the other season when they won the Champions League and came in second.
Yeah.
And last season with the whole Corona, and they were perfect. They never lacked
Yes.
Whatever. They
never lacked what?
Yeah, they never lacked injuries, for example. Also, for example, someone like Firmino had the luxury to have a whole season scoring 1 goal at Anfield, and they still won the title. Mona.
Yeah. So you think like, it's more down to the level around them was a bit lower than.
Yeah, somehow. But also, I believe like FSG needed to back him.
We're forgetting one thing also: the absence of fans from Anfield. Liverpool are the team that misses fans most. The Klopp is the 12th player in that. I mean, some of the games that they're losing, if the fans were there, they would not have lost.
But that's a very good point. But for example, I mean, the same could be said of the relegation battlers. Those guys need the fans the most.
Yeah, but it depends. I mean, the Klopp, all of us know. And we admire.
They have an
impact. And also, we're jealous of them. The Klopp is amazing atmosphere. Some of the games they were losing 1-0 or 2-0, they will come back and win 3-2.
I mean, Barcelona game, that's a very good example.
And also, there are some teams where there's some teams which are also doing well because the fans are not there. They used to put pressure on the fans, on the players, and because they're not there, they're not playing good football, but they're still, doing what they're doing. I mean, I think there's that element to it because I always believe that Liverpool are the team that misses their fans most, more than any other club in the world.
Well, what do you think? Which tournament are their fans going to be watching? European club tournament? Are Liverpool going to be taking part in next year? Is it going to be Champions League, Europa League Conference maybe?
It depends. I think
where do you think they're going to finish?
We're dealing with one of the best tacticians and managers in the world. I mean, they are now how many points? How many? Yeah, Klopp is a good manager. You can't win the Premier League the way he won last season. You can't win the Champions League the way he did.
We've seen managers who've won
he went to the final, I think, before he won the Champions League. 2 seasons. I mean, all those things are not by accident. So let's give the guy some respect. Because let's not look at this small period and then change our views. I mean, we were not going to talk about Klopp the same way we're talking about him now. 6 months away. 6 months ago, he was different.
But now he's 8th.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is football. Then you now have to judge by how he reacts. I think
so next season
they are in a hole. How he gets out of it. No, even this season, we've got how many games left? 10. I think he has. If I look at the fixtures, he doesn't have tough games left.
But he's losing the easy ones. That's the problem.
Mikel Arteta's Arsenal at the Emirates. That's a tough game.
It's a tough game, but
they lost it last season.
I think he'll turn it around. I don't know how many points are they off top 10 now. 6.
Liverpool are currently on 43 points.
7 points then.
Yeah.
So Chelsea are 50. So 7 points. So it's not easy, but it's also not that difficult. Now, who is he going to catch in top 4? Chelsea?
I don't think top 4 is it's possible
Chelsea?
for them. Maybe Europa.
I think Leicester could. Leicester won 3 games out of the last 14 last season.
They're currently
remember
10
we have
points
Spurs in
behind
between.
Yeah,
we have Spurs in between. We have West Ham in between.
You lose 3 games, my friend, you're together now.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean,
unless you're Arsenal.
Yeah.
We'll just be far from you guys.
Even Arsenal, if they won the Burnley game and they put a run together, I think they would move from 10 to at least the European positions.
Well, let's talk about Arsenal because Arsenal didn't win the game versus Burnley, sadly enough. Yeah. They also didn't win the game versus Aston Villa, and they also didn't win the game versus Wolves.
But they smashed Leicester.
We smashed Leicester in between, but I think we didn't win those games because of refereeing decisions going very, very against us in those moments. And the Burnley game, it's 2 points dropped, but I'm frustrated because had we gotten anywhere, maybe even 6 or 7 points out of 9 in those Villa, Burnley and Wolves games, I think we would be in a healthy position to challenge for top 4. But there you go. Now
I don't think so. I don't think Arsenal are in a position to challenge for top 4 because Arsenal does not have the squad.
A manager?
The squad. The manager, I think Arteta is not a bad manager. I think you can see what he's trying to do.
He is the worst manager since. This is their worst start ever.
Yeah, but he's dealing with players that are similar. That squad was not. You see, most of this. If you look at United, if you look at City, if you look at Liverpool, maybe
Chelsea.
I will not even say Chelsea.
Why not?
No, I would not say even Chelsea.
Yeah, the Real Madrid of England.
No. And I'm saying the way the team was built, there was some vision. But I think Arsenal had these problems where they had good evening, come with his own players, and then you have Arteta come in without any budget. To fix areas. I mean, every Arsenal supporter knows that they needed a playmaker. They need some guy with creativity in the team. So they were going. That's why they were going for the French guy, Aouar.
Yeah.
Okay, Aouar. Now they instead got Partey. Even in that transaction, I didn't see the reason why they would go for Partey instead of Aouar.
Well, yeah,
because
I
agree with you. Why would you need Partey?
I maintain the same position I held for the whole of the summer. Priority, creative midfielder, not a holding midfielder.
Correct.
But the reason they went for Partey eventually is because it was a simpler deal to do.
Correct.
La Liga released clause, you just have to pay. You don't even have to notify Atletico that you're going to activate the clause. That kind of stuff.
But to be fair to Arsenal, and I don't want to be rude. I think
you can be rude.
Arsenal supporters.
You shouldn't be rude.
Arsenal supporters think their
show.
Team is here in terms of quality, but I think the team is here. Now, if you look at that team, tell me how many players
make it into the other team
can make into the top 4 sides?
Not many.
And I know a lot of Arsenal supporters watching would
agree.
Throw tantrums. But Saka is a very good player.
Better than Mount.
I would not say that. I would not say that.
Never.
I would not say that. No. In fact, probably I would even rate him better than Mount. Although it's a different position. But Saka, I like him. Saka is the reason why you guys are even where you are. Saka is the reason
why they're not relegated.
Tierney is one of the best fullbacks
in the world.
In England, I will not say the world.
Who's better?
Tierney is better. Tierney is a very good player.
That's it.
Those are 2 players.
That's it.
Now Leno is probably
mistakes.
Yes. Now tell me any other Arsenal player Aubameyang will go and fit into another.
You guys were actually
established.
You guys apparently Lampard actually wanted Aubameyang.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he agreed. Yeah. They only disagreed on money. That's why Arsenal supporters were angry. Because he said, I'm going, but Chelsea didn't want to pay the salaries he was demanding for. But anyway, Aubameyang can go into any team that is good, and he will improve the team. Yeah. So Aubameyang, Saka,
Tierney, that's it.
And Tierney. Tell me anyone else.
Partey.
I think Partey.
He hasn't shown anything.
I don't agree that.
He hasn't played that many games, but in the moments that he's played.
I used to watch him in Atletico. He was he was not in the first team.
What do you make of him?
He was not in the first team of Atletico.
No, but he played a number of games and made.
He played a number of games. He came off the bench. He came off the bench.
Yeah, but
he was not. Like, look at Atletico's midfield. You have Koke, you have Saul, and those guys. But he had a release clause. There was that excitement about him. He's not a bad player, but he's not that,
No, I mean, time will tell.
He's Ghana's Bakayoko.
Bakayoko is harsh. Bakayoko is really harsh.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, Bakayoko. But you see,
because that guy,
plus, bro, let's be serious.
No, bro, I'm very serious. Partey plays as number 10 for Ghana.
Let's also be controversial.
Do you want to do it on purpose and then say it on the camera?
I'll say it on camera. Do you think Partey is 28? No, I'm not joking.
He's not 28.
Is he 28, bro?
Mohamed. This is a very
2 games
show.
hamstring.
We do not.
Another 2 games hamstring. Then I was asking my son. My son is an Arsenal supporter.
Yeah.
Die hard.
Yeah.
So he's asking me.
Do you think he looks older than 28?
Well, I can't say that on.
Look. At the end of the day, I think.
But he's a good player.
I think he's a very good player.
He passes
I think
the ball well.
That will come to tell.
He goes forward.
He's a good player for a 38-year-old.
Yeah. He's forward looking. By the way, going back to the game of Burnley, Xhaka made a mistake, but recently he has been
amazing.
One of your best players.
It's true, but is that good enough, Mohamed? I mean, if you do 10 games, only because your mistake is currently loading, 98%, 99%, only because of that, does that make you a good player? And the thing is, the stats don't lie.
Yeah.
And
he has led to mistake. He has made mistakes that led to goals
8 times.
8 times higher than anyone else.
The rest of the guys are level on 5, and some of those guys are guys like Otamendi who aren't even in the league anymore.
David Luiz,
and they were at centre back. The thing is, it's not just the red cards or not just the errors leading to goals. Even the red cards. Yeah. It's not good enough. And
but anyway,
the guy can't pass the ball with his right foot.
But anyway, you guys. You Arsenal guys.
How do you feel about
You've always conned us. You've given us Giroud. You've given us Ashley Cole, and then we give you the big stars like Wehliye. We give you Czech, David Luiz. Please, I think
we've conned you guys.
No integrity in this team.
You're the guys who conned us, man. Even Petr Cech was working as a spy, apparently. What director of what?
So, wacheni kutucheza kila wakati.
Yeah, the guys who are playing us all
we give you William.
William has the most assists in the team right now.
William, by the way,
William has more assists than Saka.
Yeah. I was actually very excited about William because, the nature of the deal. He has more assists than Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech.
And Saka.
Yeah, of course. That's
why he's saying you guys conned them.
Yeah, I mean...
And you gave us, look at who you gave us. Ashley Cole.
But...
Who's Ashley Cole? Yeah. Surely.
Who is Giroud?
Who is
no, but seriously, the Burnley, in as much as that Burnley draw frustrated me, I'd rather be complaining about missed chances than go back to November, December when we didn't even look like we were going to find solutions. It didn't even look like we knew how we were playing. Yeah. You understand? So it's a frustrating
but
point,
also the manager.
There you go.
Also the manager is a rookie. I mean, you have to admit that. I loved Frank Lampard. I've always watched Chelsea from the day, he came to Chelsea. He's a superstar. He is a big man.
He's a bigger Man City legend than Chelsea.
No, he is not. He's not. That is not true.
You're sure?
He is a legend. So we were really in a very tight position. We see him losing games. We can see the pain on his face because he's also a supporter.
Fan. Do you think he was set up
and then for us supporters, we cannot complain. We cannot, have a go at him. So it was kind of a relief when he left. But we knew, at that time we were not saying, but we knew he was not ready enough for a club like Chelsea. The same with Arteta and also Ole. All these 3 guys. If you look at people
Ole has been a manager for 11 years.
And he relegated Cardiff.
But he also won the league in the Norwegian league. So
come on, okay, fine.
No
problem.
Even Gosmillion won a league,
Now the question the thing is that Arteta is also a rookie because sometimes I look at he's losing games and he's making substitutions. I'm expecting Martinelli. I'm expecting someone to change things. He takes off sometimes. Sometimes he takes off the person who was actually playing best, and sometimes you wonder, wow.
Yeah, he makes some really weird stuff.
Experienced managers make the same mistakes. I mean, Tuchel did the same thing with Hudson-Odoi.
No.
Yes, he did.
No, he did. But
Southampton, he took him off after coming. He did. Remember what?
But is that a mistake? But is that a mistake?
He said why.
Is that
specifically said why?
No, but let me ask you. That was to pass a message. Basically, what he did is that he brought him in halftime, and then he saw his attitude, and he was playing on the wing or the side where the manager was. So he said he was giving him instructions. And then this guy, some of these youngsters, you have to show them that they have to keep their feet on the ground. But you see how Odoi played last night.
Yes. I mean,
then you saw the next game, Atletico.
He's been one of your best performers this time around, especially in a weird position.
But you have to pass a message sometimes.
I get it. Yeah. But Saddam, just going back to that incident with Tuchel, we have you here on record suggesting that Tuchel was punishing this guy for something for nothing. That Hudson-Odoi, when he came on versus Southampton, was playing well.
I said that.
You said that.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
how convenient. But anyway,
Tuchel, I think that he said what he did, and he also admitted that he said maybe I made a mistake. Sometimes it can have a psychological impact on the player, his family, everybody, because you're a superstar or you think so, and then no player deserves to be subbed in and then subbed out. Mourinho did that many times. I think he did.
But Mourinho is one of the most hated managers.
One of the best managers.
One of the most toxic managers ever.
Mourinho did that with Matic. I remember.
Yeah. Yes.
Arsene Wenger did it with Eboué.
With Eboué. So some of this, you see, the ability to make those kind of decisions makes you think that, that itself shows that this is a coach who does what he wants, and
when he wants.
Change a game when
so
he wants.
Dictator.
Not a dictator. The big managers, my friend, the big managers make very big decisions. Okay. When Lampard was playing, there's some players who are not, they were feeling at home. They could not be dropped. Tuchel came and said, I'm starting afresh. We forgot about Alonso. We hated him.
Have you noticed
he scored his first game.
Talking about Chelsea this whole time. Showed a Chelsea agenda.
Okay, Kabisa. So
We're talking about Arteta.
But let's talk. The problem is what can we talk about?
There's not much to say
about Arsenal.
There's not much to say, to be honest.
Nothing, to be honest.
The guys.
But I have a soft spot for Arsenal because that's my son's team. When I'm not watching Chelsea at home, we're watching Arsenal. Because
that's nice.
Yeah. When they're playing at the same time,
when you see a better team,
when they're playing at the same time, we know. I mean, of course, Chelsea takes. I'm the dad at home, the president. He gets his mobile, he hides somewhere. But let me put it this way: Arsenal need a squad overhaul.
They really do.
They also will not do that because they don't have the money to do that.
At least they won't do that in one summer.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Arsenal, I think, have to get used to the fact that they are now at best a Europa League
at best.
For now.
Yeah. And
for now.
This is something called naps. It's something called, I don't know, in Arabic. When you do something bad to someone and then he looks at you and then something happens. I used to see
the evil eye.
I used to see people cry, Arsenal fans, Wenger out, top 4 is a trophy. Top 4 is a trophy. Is top 4 a trophy? And Arsene Wenger used to tell them, guys, top 4 is now a trophy.
It's more important.
Arsene Wenger was a visionary. He basically saw top 4 as being a trophy. So many years ago.
The minimum
now
requirement.
Ask Liverpool, ask Chelsea. Everybody is saying, okay, at least I have to have top 4. Top 4 now is a trophy. Yeah. So you got rid of him.
You get money to.
And the last time you saw top 4 was Arsene Wenger. Was it?
I mean, it's a different.
Before, like 2-3 years before Wenger.
It's a different. He's the one who took us to Europa League.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take that into account.
He built your stadium. He created a lot of value for the club. I remember in 1996, I mean, you guys are not born when he came.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
1996.
everyone said, Arsene.
These old guys.
Yeah.
No,
we were not born.
Everyone said, Arsene who? And then he transformed.
No, it was Ian Wright who said that on an interview.
You guys took everything for granted because he took you up there.
No, what I think in terms of Arsene Wenger is that I can't necessarily compare him to Alex Ferguson or Pep or Jose Mourinho, because he knew whatever job he was going to do for Arsenal, it was going to be with a massive handicap.
Yeah.
And the handicap was financial resources.
Correct.
There were seasons where if you wanted to sign a player, he needed to sell someone.
Yeah.
When he wanted to sign a player, there was simply no funds. So he knew what he wanted to do, and it was because of the love he has for the club.
Yeah.
He wanted to set up a club that when someone takes over,
they
have the stadium, they have the brand, and hopefully the finances to eventually push. And I think that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about an overhaul, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was a 2-step plan.
Yeah.
In December, Edu and Mikel Arteta said the first 2 weeks, the first half of the January transfer window, is going to be about getting players out.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 weeks, the second half, would be if there's a possibility of signing players, we're going to try and do that.
Yeah.
And obviously, the January transfer window is unpredictable.
I think
Nobody knew that Odegaard, for example, would suddenly become available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he became available for nothing anyway.
And the thing is,
not that he adds much value.
I think he's gonna.
I think the youngsters like
Smith Rowe.
Yes, and Saka. I think I like Saka. I don't think he's gonna stay long in Arsenal.
I mean, no Arsenal academy player.
Yeah.
Ashiko left.
Yeah.
Listen,
because a team will come. Bayern München, a lot of big European sides will come for him. The same with Odoi.
If he's ambitious enough. If Saka is ambitious.
I don't think he's going to win a lot of trophies at Arsenal. Big trophies. We don't. The FA Cup is.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Ask Didier Drogba about FA Cups because I don't think he thinks it's a small cup.
The FA Cup and the League Cup, all these things, we at Chelsea, we see it as a top-up. When you win the league, you win the double. You win with the FA Cup.
It's like paying
when you win the Champions League, sorry to mention Champions League as an Arsenal supporter, then you see as a top thing.
When you get a burger, the cheese is now FA Cup. You guys are eating cheese, not the burger.
Atabila buns.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, there's not much that can really be said about Arsenal and Burnley. VAR, there's no need to go over it with you.
I think VAR goes your way.
It's ridiculous.
No. I think it's not a problem of being against Arsenal or any team.
No, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I like people to score. I like referees to make mistakes.
Like celebrate naturally.
So
the controversial part of it
even that controversy used to be part of football.
Yeah.
Someone Maradona scored with his hand. There's I think I remember a goal against Spurs, or was it by Spurs, that went in almost 5 meters in, and the guy
Lampard's World Cup goal
took it out. Those things used to make soccer interesting. These days you score a fantastic goal like Giroud did
you told
against Atletico.
You have to win 3
and then
minutes.
wait, and then so basically those are the things that I don't like about VAR. But they've gone against Chelsea. I think Werner's goal was a goal.
Versus United, it didn't go United's way. It should have maybe.
The handball?
Yeah, on Hudson-Odoi.
But the first leg,
and
Azpilicueta was choked.
Not first. Both legs.
Yeah, he was choked.
Maguire always does.
It levels out, but it's an interesting stat because ever since I think December 2019, Arsenal have now been hard done by.
Yes.
I don't know if it's December 2019.
Bro, when you're suffering,
18
you see more. Bro, when you're suffering,
you see more.
You see more times. Anyway, if Arsenal were winning games and those things were happening, you would not even see those things.
Versus Burnley, if we finished our chances, we'd look back at the VAR and be like, these guys they're idiots.
And also discipline. I think Arsenal is the most indisciplined team currently. I mean, you've lost points through red cards more than 5 times, I think, more than anyone else because of a red card. So I think Arsenal, the frustration, all those red cards, the VAR you're talking about, all these things are because of the fact that you're not doing very well.
Yeah, I mean, we said VAR is going to be VAR. I don't think the standards are going to improve anytime soon.
Yeah.
But let's finish off with Man United versus Man City, the big Manchester derby of the weekend.
I watched it in Namanga. I went to a friend's place 9 miles from Namanga.
To
a
go
friend
watch
of mine
the game.
called Pajero, a Maasai guy. So I had to go to his home because I didn't have TV there.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed.
Of course you were, because all football fans are petty.
I call them the agricultural side. I'm not a fan of Manchester. I'm not a fan of Manchester United.
Why? Why do you call?
Well, I don't even like their style. You have Maguire who holds people's necks. You have, if you look at United now, first of all, I used to hate United because of their success.
We all did.
Alex Ferguson time.
Yeah.
But now, after Alex left, United are, keep it, defend.
Give it to Bruno.
Hoof it to Rashford, goal.
They're a nuisance.
No, Bruno.
They're not winning anything.
Bruno is a good player. I would admit Bruno is a very good
just
midfielder.
Nuisance.
Yeah.
They're not winning any trophy, but they will just disappoint everyone. They will just
But they've always.
They'll break your record.
They're not chapping anyone.
No, they broke City's record.
This is they won this game, but before this game, they've played the top 6 teams, the traditional top 6, including Arsenal.
Made it 0-0.
0-0s. They are very negative. They have a lot of money. They have a very expensive squad. United now, with the way they are, the last 3-4 years, they should have won the league. They should have won the league.
They've spent money.
I mean, Conte won the league.
Yeah.
I think
in his first season.
With one of the worst Chelsea sides
it had Bakayoko.
I've ever seen.
It had
Bakayoko.
Victor Moses was playing right
Alonso was left wing back. Victor Moses was the right wing back. You had I can't even remember the rest.
Diego Costa,
so
I think.
the guy that shows you that he was a good manager. United.
But you guys are a toxic club, so you sacked him after.
But it works. It works.
It's performance.
I mean, the last 21 years, the last 16 years, 21 trophies. Tuchel came in now. If he didn't come in, you'll miss on top 4. If you miss on top 4, you miss out on players. You miss out on money.
Yes.
So I think this is.
I don't think Chelsea fans can get to say it. You miss out on money. See, you're a rich daddy.
No, but that guy also needs money.
You see, the thing is, Lampard was sacked because he has the same point as Arsenal. He got to Arsenal's level, and that is when he was sacked.
Yeah. Ambitious club.
That is how Chelsea is ambitious.
But
saying it again.
But
I almost forgot. Thank you for the reminder.
But going back to United, I think they always turn up when they play City.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if they're beaten by West Ham on Sunday or Saturday, because that's how United is. I mean,
they win out of useless
West
games.
Brom had I think a draw with them. They were beaten at home by Crystal Palace. So basically, when they play the derby, they turn up. When they play Chelsea, they turn up. When they play Arsenal, they turn up. But then United is United, and
there's this theory that they just win useless games. Last year they played City 4 times.
Yeah.
The one loss they lost was them to go to the final of Carabao. They played Chelsea 3 times last season.
Yes.
They won twice. The third time they lost was the FA Cup semi-final.
Oh, the semi-final. Arteta is a
semi. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Arteta is a semi-final. I think he's been eliminated in semi-finals 4 or 5 times. Sorry.
Four times
now, yeah.
So basically,
and
may he inshallah stay there.
Yes.
Semi-final.
I think long may it continue. Yes. But is there any credit to be given to United? I mean, they did stop De Bruyne. De Bruyne didn't look like himself.
But you see, when you win 21 games, at some stage you have to lose a game, and they lost to a good team. I think let's be fair to them also. Ole. He got his tactics right. He knows how to play.
He always gets
Guardiola.
it right from City, by the way.
He's won against Guardiola 3 times at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's won all the matches. So basically, there's something he knows and does that maybe someone else needs to look at.
That's the thing for me. Like
they keep high line. You see,
Yes.
the way City plays is they have a high line. These guys are counter-attacking, so they keep a lot of the ball. They have a lot of ball possession. So and United are the teams that are well set up for
counters, yeah. And I mean, their best performances this season have come from counterattacks.
Yeah.
PSG, RB Leipzig, even when they won 5-0.
Yeah. But if you don't allow them that, but why will you allow them that?
What I'm saying is they
That's why I don't like Guardiola also, because what you do is that you play the same style. You need to adjust, and you need to look at who you are playing.
Yeah, but I think that's a bit harsh.
On first leg this season, he made the adjustment.
Yeah.
Put 2 CDMs.
Yes.
Rodri and Fernandinho. One of the most boring games, ended 0-0.
0-0. That's
okay.
what OGS would have
but
wanted.
he would take a 0-0 yesterday than to lose 2-0.
He was confident.
I mean, in any case, he doesn't need the points. I think he's going to win the league. But at the end of the day, I think I don't think Arteta or Thomas Tuchel will allow Manchester United to play the same way.
We didn't. They didn't. They simply didn't.
Yeah.
But now, does this take the gloss off Man City this season, especially when you consider the competition they want to win the most is undoubtedly the Champions League.
Yes.
And does this dent that momentum in some way?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think City are still a good side. They have very good players. That was just, I mean,
a blip.
It happens in football after 21 or so games winning. But Champions League is a different ball game altogether. It's a different environment. But this time maybe they could be lucky. Again, it depends on the draw. It depends. There's so many things on the Champions League. Champions League is a knockout tournament. So many
teams are struggling.
Yeah,
in Europe.
Premier League is a marathon. If you have a small fall, you can But Champions League, you lose one game. That's it. So that's the issue. But I think I don't know.
How confident? If you were a Man City fan, would you be confident of winning the Champions League, despite how good they look right now?
With Thomas Tuchel still in the tournament? No.
So you're suggesting that you're still favourites?
Not favourites, but I think depending on if we don't get Bayern München, and I think because everybody has a psychological problem.
Yeah. Psychological problem.
They're not very good. They're not necessarily that good now, but it's a psychological problem to face them.
Borussia Dortmut 4-2 comfortably.
Yeah, and they were losing 2-0 at half. In the first 10 minutes.
It shows their strength in character.
I mean, they're good. They're good. But if you go past that and it's a knockout tournament, I think Tuchel has the squad to basically challenge for the Champions League this season. Next season.
I agree, by the way. I agree, 100%.
Why? Okay. Because you are now in the quarterfinals. You've got quarterfinals, semis, and final. You've got 3 games.
Assuming you're beating Atletico.
And no, I'm not saying even they can beat it. I mean, nothing is guaranteed.
Well, you talk like you already have one foot on the door, in the door.
We've gone away 1-0. Yes, I think
Atletico can win, can score goals. If they change the way they played.
Against who?
If they change,
they'll score goals against who? Only Minamino scored a goal against Tuchel in 11 games. You think it's by accident? The Chelsea setup, they might not score goals, but it's very hard to score. And Atletico plays exactly like that. So it was going to be a standstill. It was going to be a
bit of a boring game.
Yeah, at that time. But Giroud scored a fantastic goal.
Bit of a fortunate goal.
But also the Chelsea missed, a few chances. So I'm not saying it's
few. I wouldn't say few.
They missed few chances. I think it was 2 or 3 chances.
Oh yeah, Timo Werner.
Timo Werner missed chances.
He I
think Mount had a very good shot. I think Kova also had a long range shot. So I think
agenda Chelsea ishi sasa.
Agenda Chelsea itakwisha. But going back to City. They can win the Champions League. They have the squad
this season.
Yeah,
they could have won the Champions League the season before that.
Yeah, every
season before that.
Yeah, they just choke. But
as Saddam once famously said, they can win the Champions League.
They could. I mean, if it were not
for statement. What do you mean?
If it were not for Sterling, they would have won probably.
Yeah, Sterling missed a sitter.
A sitter. And then if they went to the final,
every week in week out, he misses sitters.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well. Glad to have you on, Mohamed. It's been lovely, and at the very least, you're not an annoying Chelsea fan who doesn't recognize the things that Arteta is doing.
Yeah,
he just needs a better side.
Yeah,
I think you're one of the few people that I've met outside of our other Arsenal.
By the way, Good Evening is doing very well.
He is. Hopefully, we get him.
He was doing well at
Olympiacos.
He did well.
He did very well.
Hopefully, we get him. I want to see us play.
I think, to be fair to him. Arsenal were not patient enough.
100%, I agree as
there
well.
There was an agenda against him because of the way he talks, Good Evening, blah blah. But he won 20-something games. He was unbeaten. He was playing very good football.
Of course, Chelsea fans.
Chelsea
fans. They beat. You guys beat Arsenal 4-1 under Unai Emery. So I'm sure
it was a mistake. I think it was a mistake. I mean, as a Chelsea supporter, I've seen a lot of managers go. The only manager I felt for, and I almost said, okay, I'm not supporting Chelsea. And I saw it was a mistake, and there was no patience at all. Was Carlo Ancelotti, one of the best managers, very good, won the double, scored 100 and something goals, the highest point, I think 90-something point. Chelsea were playing this fantastic football, Anelka and all these guys. Then the next season, he was sacked when he was second.
Yeah, well, like I said, Toxic Club. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss out on any of the content that's coming up. We have a lot to go through as well. We're very excited about what's to come in you know, in sooner rather than later. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very much, guys.